Have you ever wondered how someone goes from extreme poverty to becoming the richest man of all time? Imagine discovering that it's not luck, inheritance, or coincidence, but habits and principles that define true success. Rockefeller started with nothing, faced hunger, shame, and challenges you wouldn't believe. Yet he found a path, a sequence of choices that turned every penny, every decision, and even every mistake into tangible results. Do you want to know how to apply these same principles in your life and achieve real change? Stick with me, because in the next few minutes you'll uncover secrets few know and how they can transform your thinking, actions, and prosperity. As a kid, Rockefeller had a small notebook where he wrote down every single penny that passed through his hands. At first it looked like just a childish habit, but that notebook became the foundation of his discipline and consistency. While other boys were busy playing, he was already practicing the essence of entrepreneurship, mastering what he could measure. It wasn't about money yet. It was about character. That notebook was his first business on paper. Every page was a silent class about self-confidence and emotional control. He didn't let chance decide his results. He preferred clarity, knowing what he was doing and where he wanted to go. Instead of complaining about what he lacked, he focused on what he had. That mindset taught him that those who can't manage pennies will never command millions. A simple act that turned an ordinary mind into a millionaire one, long before his wallet reflected it. That daily habit built a level of consistency that became his trademark. It wasn't about obsession, it was about awareness. Funny how small daily actions can shape entire destinies. Maybe that's why, years later, when the world showed him the cold face of poverty, he already had the mental tools to not break, but rise even higher. Rockefeller was born surrounded by scarcity. There was no comfort, just the echo of hunger and the sting of shame. But it was in that environment that he learned the true value of discipline and consistency. Instead of complaining, he observed, and realized that life doesn't reward those who wait, but those who move with purpose. The poor boy started training the mindset of an entrepreneur, even before he knew the word existed. While most saw misery, he saw training. The lack forced him to develop self-confidence, emotional control, and the ability to turn pain into creative energy. No self-pity, no excuses. He learned to face the cold of scarcity with the same strength he'd later face the heat of big business. That mental posture became his edge, what separates dreamers from doers. Results don't come from luck, they come from inner alignment. He understood early that wealth isn't inherited, it's built. And it's built on small daily choices made when no one's watching. Funny enough, the greatest empires often rise from the most resilient minds. Rockefeller didn't have a golden cradle. He had principles. And those principles would soon be tested, week after week, through a simple yet powerful ritual. Every Sunday, while the world rested, Rockefeller reserved a sacred moment with himself. He'd open his notebook, take a deep breath, and ask 3 simple yet powerful questions. What principles did I follow this week? What opportunities did I miss? Have I become a better person? 3 lines to measure something far greater than money: his own character. It was his ritual of consistency, a reminder that real success begins on the inside, not outside. That habit revealed the secret behind his emotional control. He understood that the business world is merely a mirror of the inner world. If there's chaos within, there will be chaos without. But if there's order inside, results flow effortlessly. What he practiced wasn't self-help. It was self-management. It kept him grounded, focused, and aligned with his values. After all, entrepreneurship without principles is just greed in disguise. Over time, those 3 questions became his personal compass. He knew that fortune without discipline is luck on borrowed time. Each Sunday, he'd have an honest conversation with his own conscience. And that talk shaped him more than any million-dollar deal ever could. Little did he know, the next test would come with the power of money in his hands, and the choice between keeping it or sharing it would soon reveal the man he truly was. From his very first paycheck, Rockefeller made a decision that most adults still struggle with. He gave away 10%. To him, money wasn't meant to be hoarded, it was meant to circulate. He viewed wealth as energy. It had to move, flow, and create impact. While others clung to every dollar in fear, he learned that generosity is the highest form of self-confidence and discipline. Money was never his master, it was his servant. This mindset came from a deep understanding of entrepreneurship, that true value isn't in what you keep, but in what you contribute. Giving early trained his emotional control like nothing else. It taught him to let go of scarcity and operate from abundance, even when he didn't have much. The act of giving wasn't just moral, it was strategic. It rewired his mind for consistency, reminding him that real wealth begins with trust in flow, not fear of loss. Over time, this principle became his compass for results far beyond money. He built not just businesses, but a legacy of purpose. Each donation wasn't a loss, it was a seed, a declaration that the universe rewards those who understand circulation. Little did he know that this very habit, this quiet act of faith, would one day open doors of credibility that even fortune itself couldn't buy. When Rockefeller first sought a loan, he didn't walk in with fancy clothes or grand speeches. He brought his old notebook, the one filled with years of detailed accounts, every cent recorded with military precision. That little book was his proof of discipline, the tangible evidence of consistency and responsibility. The banker didn't just see numbers, he saw character. And character, more than collateral, opened the door to opportunity. This moment was a turning point, the bridge between principle and prosperity. His entrepreneurial mindset taught him that credibility isn't built overnight. It's earned through results that speak louder than words. People don't invest in your dreams, they invest in your habits. That's why Rockefeller's quiet self-confidence carried more weight than any promise he could have made. Discipline, after all, is the best business card a man can have. That meeting proved that emotional control and structure are worth more than ambition without order. Rockefeller showed that success doesn't begin when others believe in you. It begins when you can prove you've believed in yourself long enough to stay consistent. And that unwavering posture would soon lead him to a realization. The true power of business isn't in competing harder, but in thinking smarter about what already exists. Rockefeller never saw waste. He saw opportunity wearing a different disguise. While other oil producers tossed out what they didn't need, he studied the leftovers and turned them into gold. Vaseline, paraffin, lubricants, new products born from what others ignored. That's not luck. That's entrepreneurship with vision and discipline. He understood that greatness isn't about doing more. It's about doing better with what you already have. His secret was consistency and observation. He didn't chase competition. He created innovation. The more he refined his process, the more results multiplied. Proof that creativity doesn't always mean inventing something new, but improving what exists. This mindset came from deep emotional control. The patience to look twice before discarding, the humility to see value where others saw trash. Efficiency became his silent weapon. While rivals fought over prices, he built empires on leftovers. That's the kind of self-confidence that separates ordinary business from legacy-building entrepreneurship. He mastered the art of transforming limits into leverage. And as his empire grew, Rockefeller began to realize that managing time, money, and energy with precision was far more powerful than chasing every new opportunity that appeared on the horizon. Every hour, every dollar, every ounce of energy was accounted for. He didn't make impulsive decisions, he waited, observed, and acted with calm. That's the heart of emotional control and discipline. While others reacted, he measured, understanding that results don't come from haste but from deliberate choices aligned with your values and priorities. This approach wasn't about being rigid, it was about being intentional. He treated time as currency and attention as capital, knowing that consistency in evaluation compounds faster than luck ever could. The man who tracked pennies as a child now measured life itself. Self-confidence emerged from clarity. When you know exactly what you have, you can decide what to do next with power and precision. By mastering measurement, Rockefeller transformed uncertainty into strategy. He didn't chase trends or panic over losses. He calculated, refined, and optimized. This method kept him ahead of the crowd, making entrepreneurship a science, not a gamble. And just as he learned to control numbers, he would soon confront the challenge of controlling people, hiring, delegating, and sometimes letting go without hesitation. He hired exceptional people and didn't hesitate to let go of those who didn't deliver. Precision in people management became his secret weapon, combining discipline with emotional control. Frugal in small details, generous in major decisions, he understood that true entrepreneurship balances restraint and boldness. Every choice reflected his commitment to consistency in building results and character. Despite his wealth, he realized that accumulation alone felt empty. Money for him wasn't just a tool for comfort, it was a tool for impact. He began massive acts of philanthropy, funding institutions and research that would benefit countless lives. Generosity became his compass, teaching that self-confidence grows when wealth is applied wisely, not hoarded. True results extend beyond profits. They shape society and leave a legacy. This mindset redefined his empire. While competitors focused on expanding endlessly, Rockefeller focused on purpose and efficiency. His wealth was a reflection of the man he became, disciplined, strategic, and profoundly human. And as he continued to navigate this delicate balance between frugality and generosity, he was quietly preparing for the next lesson, mastering focus and priorities to sustain growth without losing direction. Every Sunday, Rockefeller didn't just relax, he planned. He would set 3 clear priorities for the week, focusing on less, but on what truly mattered. This was not about busyness, it was about discipline and consistency. By narrowing his focus, he amplified results, avoiding distractions that derail so many aspiring entrepreneurs. It was a simple habit, yet profoundly effective in shaping his empire. This ritual reflected his mastery of emotional control. He knew that spreading attention thin leads to mediocrity, while concentrated effort produces breakthroughs. Each priority was tied to measurable action, ensuring self-confidence and progress. By reviewing and adjusting routes as needed, he stayed agile, adapting to challenges without losing sight of the ultimate goal. Entrepreneurship for Rockefeller was never random. It was precise, intentional, and measurable. The weekly planning became a lens through which he viewed every opportunity. Success wasn't chasing every shiny idea, but choosing the right ones and committing fully. This habit prepared him to handle both wealth and people effectively, knowing that priorities guide energy and resources. And as he refined this practice, he edged closer to the final principle, building a lasting legacy that reflects both character and results. Rockefeller's ultimate focus was self-improvement. Every day, he aimed to be better than the day before, celebrating small victories along the way. This relentless pursuit of growth reflected his discipline, consistency, and unwavering self-confidence. He understood that true wealth isn't just in money, but in the man you become while achieving it. Every action, every decision, was a step toward a legacy that outlives him. He accepted sacrifices as part of the journey, knowing that shortcuts compromise character. While others chased immediate gratification, he invested in emotional control, patient planning, and strategic action. His entrepreneurial mindset wasn't just about profits. It was about building institutions, supporting research, and creating value for society. The principle was clear. Results follow the person you shape yourself to be, not the money you accumulate. By the end, Rockefeller's legacy was more than wealth. It was a blueprint for greatness. The man became a symbol of how discipline, focus, and thoughtful generosity can turn humble beginnings into monumental impact. And as his story shows, money is never the goal. It's the reflection of the principles, habits, and character you cultivate along the way. And with this understanding, one begins to see that every decision, every action is a chance to shape not just wealth, but the kind of life and legacy one leaves behind. Now that you've seen how Rockefeller turned principles into unimaginable wealth, it's your turn to ask yourself, are you managing your time, money, and energy with the same discipline and consistency? Are you applying emotional control, celebrating small wins, and focusing on what truly matters? Wealth, success, and impact aren't random. They're a reflection of the person you're becoming. So here's the challenge. Take at least one principle today and apply it immediately. Write down your priorities, track your actions, or give with purpose. How different would your life look if you lived like the person you want to become? Comment below. I want to hear your first step. Don't just watch this. Transform it into action. And if you want to continue learning these life-changing principles, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Keep growing, stay consistent, and watch how your results start reflecting the real power of who you are.